I told you, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown, and I got a list of
Order.
If I'm going down,
Order in
I'm
the
taking a
court.
whole lot
I
of
said
people with
order
me.
in the court.
Nino Brown Boxing, and I'm back in the building. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So I want to talk about the hate for Jarrett Hurd. And this same hate for Jarrett Hurd, it applies to other guys as well that I'm noticing. And I'm really starting to notice a pattern where you got guy A and then you have guy B. And it's like, if guy A moves a certain way, it's always applauded. It's pro guy A. Guy B, it's like he'll move a certain way, but it's always negativity and criticism attached to this man no matter what he does. So in this situation, Jarrett Hurd is guy B. And I'm noticing a trend, especially when it comes to the 140-pound division, the 147-pound division. No, not the, oh, well, my bad, my mistake. It's the 147, 154, and 160. So this is what I've noticed. So I want to speak on Jarrett Hurd pulling out of this J-Rock fight first. So my feelings towards this whole issue is the moment, I think I said Jarrett Hurd, J-Rock, whatever, y'all know what I mean. The moment Jarrett Hurd lost to J-Rock, I was very adamant. I wanted Jarrett Hurd to run it back immediately. I didn't think Hurd needed any type of tune-up whatsoever. I wanted him to keep it the same, run it back. Now, I've seen plenty of videos, plenty of comments, plenty of super chats, people saying a lot of different things. People saying Hurd is dumb for wanting this immediate rematch. You know, Hurd hasn't made any changes. How is he expecting a different result? J-Rock is a stylistic nightmare for him. He needs to make some adjustments if we're going to have a chance in this fight. So then, Jarrett Hurd, for whatever reason, whatever personal reason, he got a new trainer. The reputation of his new trainer is this guy focuses primarily on skill. The same thing that everyone has been saying Jarrett Hurd has been lacking. Jarrett Hurd went out, found a trainer, training in Colorado, new scenery, has a new trainer where the primary focus is on skill. Then Jarrett Hurd got the new trainer. He still wants to run it back immediately. The masses are saying Jarrett Hurd got a new trainer, but it's not going to make a difference. It's not enough time for him to do anything. It's stupid. And now that he has a new trainer, he left with Ernesto. You know, he a traitor. That's a dumb move. This is the guy that built you up to help you become unified champion if you leave him. Now, the same people saying this are the same people with the narrative that said that Hurd didn't make any changes. It's stupid. Okay. Now, Jarrett Hurd pulls out of the fight. For whatever reason, you know he has a new trainer. He hasn't had any fights with this new trainer yet. And he's talking about moving up to 160. But from what I hear and what I've read, it's not official. It seemed like it's in consideration. But Jarrett Hurd pulls out of the fight. The same people that said Hurd was stupid for taking an immediate rematch, he didn't make any adjustments, he gonna get his ass beat. He get criticized for pulling out of the fight. So it's like he damned if he do, he damned if he don't. And just based off of, unless I missed something, what possible scenario can Jarrett Hurd do where the masses feel that Jarrett Hurd did the right thing? It doesn't make sense. But then I've noticed this trend when it comes from a guy A and a guy B at 147, 154, and 160. Now, I say this because criticism can go all around. And I'm not saying that Jarrett Hurd isn't open to any criticism, because that's not true. But my thing is, when it's the guy A in this situation, the criticism isn't spoken on by the masses so openly, freely, and honesty. And my example is 147. You have Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Errol Spence is guy A. Terrence Crawford is guy B. In the masses' eyes, Errol Spence does no wrong. And then the popular opinion when it comes to Terrence Crawford is he's on the wrong side of the promotional when it comes to his promotion. Terrence Crawford's resume is questionable. And then it's like Terrence Crawford, the way he moves in the media, he doesn't want to talk to people. You know, he doesn't reach out to people. He reaches out to so-and-so over so-and-so. All of this stuff. A lot of consistent criticism for Terrence Crawford. Now, when it comes to personalities, Terrence Crawford and Jarrett Hurd are night and day. But the thing that they have in common, they have a guy A attached to them, and they're the guy B, the guy that's more popular than they are. So they receive a lot of blunt of the criticism when the criticism can be spread around a whole lot more evenly than what it is. So you have Earl Spence on the other hand. Like, I like Earl Spence. He's my guy, but Earl Spence isn't perfect either. So even though Terrence Crawford became undisputed, you know, he unified at 135. Now he has a belt at 147. Like, his resume is always in question. And my thing is, he became undisputed at 140. It is not in Terrence Crawford's control who had the belts. Like, we always talk about how corrupt these sanctioning bodies are. Terrence Crawford can't control who has the belts. He wasn't fighting for a bunch of vacant titles. He beat who he had to beat to become undisputed. Last time I checked, that's the ultimate goal. But moving forward, I'm going to save Jarrett Hurd and Julian J. Rock Williams for last. Now, at 160, it's this whole thing where it comes to Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andrade. See, Jamal Charlo and Terrence Crawford have a lot of similarities, but the same points they're not really made, and that shit doesn't make sense to me. See, for Terrence Crawford, Terrence Crawford's at 147. He know where the bulk of the belts are. Then people say, oh well, we all know what happens if Terrence Crawford decides to re-sign with ESPN, and I agree 100%. To me, if Terrence Crawford signs with ESPN, to me, it shows me he's not actively pursuing what he says he wants. But that same energy needs to be directed to a guy like who? Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo is with PBC. The bulk of the belts at the middleweight division are at the Zone. If Terrence Crawford, if it behooves Terrence Crawford to go to the PBC, wouldn't it behoove Jamal Charlo to go to the Zone, since that's where all the middleweight belts are? That's where all of the middleweight guys are. But no, that same energy isn't kept. You got guys like Demetrius Andrade that get shitted on for signing with the Zone, but the bulk of the belts are there. Now, some people may say, well, Jamal didn't know this or they didn't know that. Last time I checked, Jamal Charlo was a free agent. And if Danny Jacobs can do it, Jamal Charlo can do it. Jamal Charlo can go to the Zone and sign a multi-fight deal with them exclusively to the Zone and fight and make his way, put his best foot forward, just like the same expectation is for Terrence Crawford. But the difference is Demetrius Andrade is the guy B. Jamal Charlo is the guy A. So guy A is normally the more popular guy that gets the benefit of the doubt. When guy B, it doesn't matter what side of the situation he's on, he'll get criticized for it. Because my understanding is Demetrius Andrade signed with the Zone and he can collect the belts on the side of the street. Very comparable to Earl Spence. Very comparable to Earl Spence. But now I want to get to my man Jarrett Hurd. Jarrett Hurd, I wouldn't say Julian J. Rock Williams is guy A in this situation, because after he lost to Jamal Charlo, he was the odd man out as well. So, but I've noticed when it comes to guy A, and I would say the more popular guy at 154 is Jamal Charlo, Little Charlo. Jamal Charlo gets the benefit of the doubt on a lot of shit. Last time I checked, I thought we want these fighters to fight the tough fights. I thought we wanted these guys to step up. Jarrett Hurd, he fought tough competition. He won his first belt. It was a vacant belt. He fought Tony Harrison. He beat Tony Harrison. And then he, a couple fights later, he unified with Laura. Then a couple fights later, he fought J-Rock and he took an L. My issue with this is Jarrett Hurd has been criticized, which I explained earlier in the video, so much. But he got in the ring with these guys. last time I checked, we all know that Jarrett Hurd isn't the most technical guy out there, but he fought Lara, he fought Tony Harrison, he fought Austin Trout. You know, the same Lara that gave Canelo fits that arguably won, the same Lara that gave Canelo fits that arguably won, the same Canelo that's a champion at 160, has a belt at 168, and plans on going to 175 and trying to become the WO champion. That same Canelo Alvarez. Jarrett Hurd beat those guys. Jarrett Hurd stopped Austin Trout for the first time, something Canelo couldn't do, something the Charlos couldn't do, but he gets shitted on. Now you have a guy like Jermell Charlo, the guy A in this situation, the more popular guy. People never point out the fact that Jermell had the opportunity to unify before Jarrett Hurd did. I always make this point because it's always ignored. Why? Because he's the guy A in the situation. Like, we know when it comes to these white fighters, we say these white guys have the complexion for the protection. But when it comes to the circle of black fighters, it's basically like a popularity contest within the modern day black murderers row, because you have your guy A, you have your guy B in the black murderers row, and it's like high school and boxing. It's like high school all over again. It's nothing but a big popularity contest, and the guy that's the most popular gets the benefit of the doubt, and the era of his ways are ignored. But guy B, it's a big ass spotlight shined on him, and if he's a ducker, he's scared. He gets accused of taking steroids or PEDs. His resume gets put into question. Oh, he's on the right side of the street, but it's an issue that he's on the right side of the street. But guy A in the situation is on the. It's just a bunch of bullshit. It's a lot of inconsistencies, and my whole thing, what it is, it's nothing but a popularity contest. And I'm all about just keeping the same energy. Keep the same energy. If one guy is on the wrong side of the street and the situation is very similar, the goal is to win. The goal is to become undisputed, win the belts, unify. Guess what? If you're not even in position for it to happen, then it's the possibilities of it happening, it decreases tremendously. Jermall Charlo is with the PBC. Now he has the WBC belt because Canelo decided to make whatever moves, but Jermall still can't unify. Jermall and Terrence Crawford, in my opinion, are in the same fucking situation. They're in the same situation because what big fights do they have on their networks? None. They don't have any. They don't have any big fights. So this shit's weird to me, man. It's extremely weird. And sometimes it can get frustrating, but it makes sense why guys like Terrence Crawford just say fuck it and he just does his own thing and he doesn't give people the time of day because it's a big popularity contest. It makes sense why certain guys make weak moves and they move extremely strategic, because if you're not that guy A, if you're not the Mr. Popular guy in this situation, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt anyway, so why does it matter? It's starting to make sense why a lot of these boxers do make very unfavorable moves, because no matter what they do, it just won't matter. It's Nino Brown Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC, and I'm out.